Hey y'all, welcome back. This is Crystal, and it's that time of year. It's almost here. It's October. So that means in October, TBR, I've got a very large stack of books that I'm hoping I'm going to have time to get through this month with all the other things that I want to do in October. Whew, we'll see. But, I'm not alone in thinking that October is the best month of the year. Am I right? The weather's getting cooler. The evenings are getting, darker sooner. I can just feel it in the air. Spooky season is upon us. So, October is pretty great. Of course, there's Halloween, which I celebrate basically all month. There's Samhain, and I've got a lot of personal sort of things that we celebrate in October as well. Like my husband and I celebrate our wedding anniversary. We'll have been married 11 years. It is my birthday. I'll be 44 this year. That just sounds like a really awesome number, 44. October's Down Syndrome Awareness and Acceptance Month, which is always a big deal for us. And we have our buddy walk and celebrate my son and all of our friends that have Down syndrome that have come into our lives over the past 9 years, and it's just a fun time. And October, I love October for lots of different reasons. So let's get going on this TBR though, because I got 1.5 million books here. So I'm gonna get right on up into it. And of course, me being me, there's 2 readathons that I've got some things planned for too. So let's get going. Let's do like buddy reads, book clubs, that kind of stuff first, and then we'll dive into those readathons. So I have mentioned before that I am part of Rachel Over the Shades of Orange's Patreon book club, and I love it, really enjoy it. And October is Something That Wicked This Way Comes by Ray Bradbury. Very excited to finally read this one. I have not read this one yet. I know it's set pretty close to Halloween time and features a carnival. That's really all I need to know. I've loved everything I've read by Bradbury so far. So I'm sure I'll love that one. Very excited. My little book club that I run with some friends of mine, I said, let's vote for something spooky this month. And the winner was The Broken Girls by Simone St. James. Now, I was actually supposed to read this in September, but I'm not going to have time for it. So I get to roll this right on over into October, and it's perfect for October. Gives off some definite spooky vibes. All right, now for Brad Proctor's Spine Breakers book club. The October book is The Silence of the Lambs by Thomas Harris. Another pretty perfect book for October. I'll probably try to pull this one up on audiobook. Excuse me. Because this will be a reread for me. I read this a million years ago, but I would definitely reread it. And I think audiobook would be a good way to experience the story in a different way. So I will make time for that. That's it for book club stuff. So so I do have, of course, some read-alongs. I'm continuing on with the Books of Babel read-along that Leslie over at the Nerdy Narrative is hosting. Book 3, The Hod King. Say Hod or Hode? I say Hod, but this one is a big one. So we'll see. I'd like to at least get it started. I'm looking forward to it. And that's all I read-alongs. The Wool read-along, ended. So let's see. I've got a couple buddy reads planned. I've got with my friend Amy. I've got John Saul's Black Creek Crossing planned as a buddy read, and this one sounds like a good kind of haunted house haunting type of story, and I'm excited because I finally get to read a book by this handsome devil. Look at that trench coat. Yeah, so I'm excited to finally get into reading something by John Saul and reading with my buddy Amy, of course. And then I've got another buddy read on the schedule with my pal Kelly from Kelly Hooked on Books. We've read a couple books together and we're going to continue on with The Invisible Life of Addie Larue by V. Schwab. Very excited to finally get into this one. Also, I wanted to read this when it came out. There it has sat on my shelf, so you know how we do. The there is the Stephen King read along that we chat about over on Brad Proctor's Discord. The October book is Elevation, which I've heard everyone thinks it's pretty much crappy, but I'm gonna try to pull it up on audio somewhere and make my way through it that way, because I want to read all of his books, so even if it's a stinky one, right? Now, let's see, I have a couple of books that really aren't on my, don't fit necessarily into the readathon prompts, but I would like to try to get to them also, because, why not? But I've really been wanting to dive into Sinister Mix by Brian Boyer. This is a collection of short stories, and I think if I kind of read a story here and there throughout the month, I can get through this one for sure. And I know his stories are pretty dark, so I think October is as good as time as any to dive into these. And this cover, say no more. I also have picked this up. This is a very new purchase for me, and I am really excited about this book. It is Revelator by Daryl Gregory. This is it's been a while since I have saw a book, read the description, immediately purchased it, and want to immediately read it. It's been a little while, and I want to read this so badly. It takes place in Tennessee and Appalachia. Starts off in the 1930s. And let me just read this sentence here for you from the inside flap. A gripping tale of a family's mysterious religion and the daughter who turns her back on their God. So I think we've got some, I don't know if it's folklore type stuff or old-timey type stuff. It sounds dark. There's a cavern involved. And this old god is called Ghost Daddy. Yeah, I'm dying to read this cover again. Stunning. I want to pick that up October 1st, probably. And one more kind of bonus book that if I have time for, because it is Down Syndrome Awareness and Acceptance Month, I bought this a couple of months ago and hadn't had a chance to dive into it yet. It's called Countess In, Growing Up with Down Syndrome, written by Jason Kingsley and Mitchell Levitz. Those are handsome fellas, and this is just kind of talking about their lives, and let's see, they talk about their innermost thoughts, feelings, hopes, and dreams. Talk about their lifelong friendship and their experiences growing up with Down syndrome. So, it sounds perfect, and I can't wait to read it. It's got some pictures in here. I think it's going to be really lovely, so I'm going to make time for that also. So those are sort of extra books, because why not? So let's dive into these readathons. First up is the Free Your Shelf-A-Thon, round 2. This is sort of hosted by Kelly from Kelly Hooked on Books and Peekaboo Reads. This is more of an Instagram sort of challenge. They've got a bingo board and everything. It's got 9 prompts. So let's get into, and basically the gist of the readathon is just read stuff that you already own. Free your shelf, right? So let's dive into it. Number 1 is a book with a man or woman in the title, and I think they've added husband, wife, and some other words as well. I'm gonna read Dead Woman Scorned by Michael Clark because I've been wanting to get back into this trilogy. I read Patience of a Dead Man, was that back in June or July? And I really loved it, so I really want to get back into this, and this just fits perfectly, of course. So excited. Number 2 is the newest ebook. For me, that would be Hammers on Bone by Cassandra, and this is actually a really short book, and I can't remember even what it's about now, but it looks cool. So Number 3 is a book-to-screen adaptation. I think I'm the last person on the Earth planet that hasn't read Bird Box. So I'm going to read Bird Box. I think that sounds great. And let's see, number 4, you can go trick or treat, read a romance or a thriller. I'm obviously going to go for a thriller, and I'm going to plug in The Broken Girls for this one. I think this leans more of a thriller type of story. A book with black or orange on the cover. I have a book with black and orange on the cover, so extra. But Chasing the Boogeyman by Richard Chismar. Very excited about this. It sounds so good. I think it's kind of part true crime, part memoir, part fiction. I don't even know. It's like some murders that occurred like in Chismar's hometown or something like that. It's the general gist, but it looks great. So excited. I think I have 6, a book that has some supernatural elements, and I will be plugging in Black Creek Crossing for that. This definitely has something going on in this story that's spooky, so using that. Number 7, finish a book that you have previously started. And this book, oh my god, look at this pile of books. I started several months ago, never finished it. Requiem for a Dream by Hubert Shelby Jr. I really want to finish this. I'm about halfway through. I don't know why I really didn't finish it. I just put it down and didn't pick it back up. So I really want to finish it though, to finish it, to get it done. So yeah, gonna hope to finish that. I want to do number 8, a book with a number in the title, and I'm gonna go for Day Zero by C. Robert Cargill. This is a sci-fi book, but I've been super interested in it ever since I heard about it. So I'm gonna try to get to that one because it sounds fun. And then number 9, a book that has, I believe, less than 200 pages. I'm actually really crappy at greater than, less than. So if I'm hoping it's less than, I did Google, but anyway. I'm going to read The Possession of Natalie Glasgow by Haley Piper because Haley Piper. Enough said. So that's my plans for your Shelf-A-Thon. I'm excited. It's going to be fun. And I will link their Instagrams below if you're interested to get to the bingo board and the prompts and all that. So, all right. Now the second readathon sounds like fun too. And it is the Halloween horror movie Mania Readathon. And this is hosted by Kelsey over at Slime and Slashers. If you're not following Slime and Slashers, you must do so. Of course, I will link her channel below. So she and her friend Kat have come up with this really fun readathon where the prompts are based off of horror movies. I mean, can you get any more fun? Probably not. So there are 12 prompts. So, well, that's a lot, but let's get going. So, number 1 is the movie Halloween, of course. So, a book that's set on or around Halloween time. This fits perfectly. Something Wicked This Way Comes. Gonna plug that in for that. Number 2 is Pumpkinhead. I haven't watched that in so long. Maybe I'll watch that this year. A book with a pumpkin on the cover. I'm gonna go for Mr. Glowbones by Ronald Kelly because it's got a bunch of pumpkins on there. This is like a short story collection. So between this one and like the Brian Boyer collection, I'm hoping to get through some short stories this Halloween or this October. Number 3 is Nightmare on Elm Street, a book that's set at nighttime, or read a book in the dark. And I'm actually going to plug in The Possession of Natalie Glasgow for this one because from what I understand, Natalie, who is the girl that's possessed in here, is very almost catatonic during the day, but really comes to life at night and I guess wreaks havoc. I'm not sure, but the nighttime is when she is active. So I think that fits the prompt pretty good. Number 4 is Ghostbusters, Who You Gonna Call? And a book featuring a ghost or ghostly beings. And I am going to plug in this middle grade books. I do enjoy reading middle grade. It's been a little while since I read a middle grade. But I've got The Girl and the Ghost by Hannah Alcoff. Lovely cover. This is a little story about this girl, and she inherits basically a ghost from her grandmother. It's called a pelicet, I think is what they call it. And this is based in Malaysian kind of folklore, and it just sounds really lovely and cute. So this is middle grade, so it won't take long to get through, right? Excuse me, I've got a frog in my throat this morning. Number 5 is Halloween Town, and this is to, whoops, got books tumbling over here. Read a, I've lost my spot. Read a book that's, more innocent, but is still spooky, that's geared towards younger readers, either, children's books, middle grade books, that kind of thing. And I actually pulled all of my kids' books recently for to read with my son this month. And so I'm going to show them all to you because I can. Winnie the Pooh's Trick or Treat, because Winnie the Pooh, we all love Eeyore. This really cute Boo Pick a Flat book. These are always fun. And this one is cute actually because it has some like things about Halloween and their different cultures and everything. It's actually really cool. It's cool. This one's about colors, but it's all spooky. You've got a rock, Charlie Brown. It's just sort of one of those easy readers, but kind of goes through the Charlie Brown story. Curious George, Haunted Halloween. This goes through the the urban legend of No Noggin, this scarecrow that steals people's hats. Sinister. The little old lady who was not afraid of everything. I love this because this giant jack-o'-lantern is like chasing her at the end. Room on the Broom. I mean, I love this story so much because this witch is so adorable. And it's so cute. There's a little animated version of this. I think you can watch it on Prime, I believe. And it's adorable. And, I mean, get out of town. It's The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, obviously. We'll get into that. And, of course, Black Day, the Monster Rock Band by Marcus Sikora with his mother, Mardra Sikora. Well, let me show you Marcus really quick because, again, it's Down syndrome. I'm wearing his acceptance month. So Marcus is this handsome young man here. And this story is his creation, and he thought of everything, and his mom helped him write this book and put it all together, and it's got wonderful images too. We follow this guy Brad who wishes he was a rock star, and he stumbles upon this band here. They're called Black Day. They're a monster rock band, and they play on Halloween night, and it's a really good book. And it is perfect for Halloween time. So I'm very excited to get into these spooky books with my kid. He's into Halloween whether he likes it or not. You know what I mean? Okay, number 6 is The Monster Squad, a book that features a monster. I'm plugging in Bird Box for this because there's a monster in this. Monsters, I think. Number 7 is House, a book that has a haunted house or haunted hotel, haunted this, haunted that, something haunted. I'm plugging in. I can't find it in my stack of books. I'm plugging in Black Creek Crossing for that. Perfect. Number 8 is Suspiria. Features witches or wizards or magic, black magic in some way. And I believe Hammers on the Bone will fit this one. So I'm going to plug that in there. Number 9 is The Mothman Prophecies, another book I haven't read in a while. Or a movie I haven't watched in a long time. Featuring something that's unexplainable or mysterious. I will be plugging in Chasing the Boogeyman for that because there's obviously a mystery of who is murdering people. Number 10 is House of the Devil, a book. Lord, look. I can't find anything now. House of the Devil, a book that is set in the 80s. was published in the 80s, has 80s vibes, and I am going with John Bowden's Jedi, Summer with a Magnetic Kid. Right there in the back it says 1983, and this is perfect. Very short too. I believe this is sort of a coming of age story, but also something going on in this small town. People are dying, but hanging around. So that sounds good. And okay, there's two more. Okay, number 11, Color Out of Space, book with a bright or neon color. I'm gonna plug in Mr. Glowbones for that because I really neon lettering for Mr. Glowbones. And then last, but certainly not least, is Terrifier, a book that features creepy clowns, murderous mimes, then dummies, creepy dolls, whatever. I'm gonna pull out a Goosebumps, the classic Night of the Living Dummy by R.L. Stine, because obviously and honestly, I do not like ventriloquist dummies at all. They are creepy to me. So why not scare myself this October with this one? And that's gonna do it. Woo! Phew. That's a lot of books, and I'm gonna get to what I can get to. I never pressure myself for TBRs. I like having a lot of things to choose from. So, woo! Are you taking part in any of these readathons? Let me know. Do you do a lot of spooky reading in October? Let me know. And thanks, of course, always so much for watching. I always appreciate it. And this is a long one, so if you made it this far, thank you. And do one of those emoji things. Put a ghost emoji in the comments. But I appreciate it. And of course, I'll catch you in the next one, and happy spooky reading. Bye-bye.